And this Tuesday storm already causing a big mess around the county. Take a look at their screen right now. New video of a tree on top of a car at Scripps Ranch. Happened just after 4 this morning at Willow Creek and Old Grove roads. And you can see this royal blue car completely crushed. Fortunately, no one was in it at the time, again at 4 a.m. But just showing you kind of the power of this storm here. Lots of rain, lots of wind happening around the county. Thanks for being here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Dana Marie McNichol in for Netta Arampori. I mean, when you have the heavy winds combined with the rain, that's when it really becomes dangerous out there with the old trees. So we do have team coverage on the rain. Chris Groh has some safety reminders. But we do begin with Evan. You're tracking the rain. Tell us what to look out for. Yeah, it's coming down pretty steady as we speak. I want to give you a look at the preliminary rain totals just for today so far. So in the last 6 hours of our day, these are just going to increase throughout the day because we've got rain expected all throughout it. So far, a quarter of an inch out at Mission Bay. Sunset Cliffs, about 14/100ths of an inch, so just over a tenth of an inch. Over a tenth of an inch for La Jolla and Oceanside, just at a tenth of an inch. So these are pretty decent numbers. Notice that first wave came onshore from west and now moving east, so that's why most of those numbers are coming in from your coastline, because we're just starting to see that rain move inland. So some of our inland valleys, our mountains are going to start to pick up on those accumulations as we go on throughout the day. Temperatures are going to stay in the upper 50s for this afternoon. We've got light rain throughout the morning and afternoon, and then by the time we get into tomorrow, we'll start to see things lighten up a bit. But it's just going to be tomorrow that things lighten up, because a whole nother round is going to come on Thursday. Heavy rain expected on Thursday, so we will have all the details on how much to expect in just a bit. But that rain, we know it's led to plenty of wet roads around our area. That's putting California Highway Patrol on alert for spinouts. CBS 8's Chris Groh is live in Ocean Beach. He has a look at what conditions are like right now. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, conditions are not great, Evan, and I know that you've been tracking it there in studio as well, too, but here out on the ground, the roads are extremely slick at this moment. Again, as we told you just about a half hour ago when we were driving in around that 4 o'clock hour, taking the 163 down to the 8, gotta admit, we were driving a lot slower than I think we normally do, and that is the mindset that CHP advises drivers to have, to be slower than normal and to make sure that you're being safe. Now, of course, that doesn't mean to go too slow and to throw hazards on. That is not something that is advisable during the rain. But the biggest thing that you can do is to just make sure that you're aware of your surroundings, make sure that you're aware of the cars around you, and also make sure that you're aware of the amount of water that could potentially be on the road ahead of you. Now, of course, on the freeways, you want to make sure that you're driving safely around that, but on those surface streets, make sure that you're avoiding that ponding water. It only takes about 6 inches for you to lose control, and then of course, if you get water into your engine block in those deep flood waters, you could lose your vehicle at that moment, and of course it would render it unusable, and in some cases we've even seen some people needing to be rescued. Now, some of those hot spots where we do see that flooding happen often around the San Diego River, in that Mission Valley, that Fashion Valley area, so it's best to avoid that at all if you can, and it's also best to avoid driving. Don't do what we're doing right now. Don't go out and walk in the rain if you don't have to. Don't go drive in the rain if you don't have to, because CHP says that they've seen a number of crashes, both related to other reasons but also the rain in recent days.
We did have crashes involving DUI drivers. We had crashes involving speed in the rain. We also had crashes involving people not wearing their seatbelts.
And we're here in Ocean Beach, where we're also keeping an eye on the OB Pier, because as many of you know, especially those that live in and around this area, the OB Pier has been closing off and on. Now, it's scheduled for repairs, but that's not for quite some time. And of course, there's going to likely be some legal challenges to that. But with that repairs needed, they've been trying to, of course, keep that pier closed because it can be dangerous with some of that high surf. Now, right now, at this hour, the pier is open. You can see right here behind me, the gates are open. In fact, we've seen some folks going out onto the pier. Now, that's probably part of their morning routine. They think they know, obviously they know what they're doing. But again, if you're watching this, if normally walking on the pier is part of your morning routine, probably best to stay home and stay dry right now. Eric and Dana Marie.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. He's in OB right now, but of course, show us where you live. What does the weather look like? You can share photos, videos on the CBS 8 app. Just go to the Near Me section at the bottom and click on the Share With Us button.
This morning, we are waiting for an update on Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin, who collapsed on the field during last night's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. In a video that's tough to watch here, you can see Hamlin collide with the Bengals player right there. He eventually gets up, but then, as you see, he's number 3 right here. He just falls back and collapses seconds later. The Bills confirmed overnight the 24-year-old safety suffered cardiac arrest. His heartbeat was restored right there on the field after receiving CPR. He is currently sedated and is listed in critical condition. The game was postponed indefinitely. Dozens of Bills and Bengals fans gathered outside the University of Cincinnati Medical Center here where Hamlin was taken. They have been praying and lighting candles. Here in San Diego, we spoke with Buffalo Bills fans at the Sports Bar, the local in Pacific Beach.
This place is a huge family. Man, like, it was dead silent upstairs. You guys don't know what it's like to be a Bills fan unless you are, and this was hard for everybody upstairs. There was not a sound.
Well, fans are now contributing to an online fundraiser that Hamlin started as a toy drive for kids in his hometown. This is video of Hamlin at one of those toy drives in the past. The original fundraising goal was $2,500, and now it has over $3 million. We're going to bring you updates on Hamlin's condition throughout the morning here on CBS 8.
And we're taking a look at a fuel shortage that's causing new travel headaches for passengers at the San Diego International Airport. Now, the shortage is caused by repairs to a leaking pipeline that links LA County refineries to San Diego. It's forcing flights departing San Diego to make unplanned pit stops in other cities to fill up. That's what's causing some of those misconnections and delays, and also delays in landing times. The fuel company Kinder Morgan says they expect the pipeline to be fixed as soon as today. And meantime, Southwest Airline passengers are still dealing with lost luggage. Bags are piling up, as you can see right here in the food court area of the San Diego International Airport. One man tells us he almost had to return to Camp Pendleton without his uniform and boots.
I probably would have got dropped from my company and have to restart because I wouldn't have had my uniforms.
West tells us customers can go to their website for lost baggage help.
Take a look at this massive sinkhole outside the Oakland Zoo. This happened after heavy rainfall, which led to flooding across Northern California. Now there are mandatory evacuation orders, power outages, and water rescues, and more rain is expected is on the way here. Still a little fun to be had in all this, right? Still snow in our local mountains after this storm. Many San Diegans went out to Mount Laguna to check it out. We found families sledding, having snowball fights, and making snow angels. If you do visit the mountains, though, just remember, bring your trash with you when you leave, and be sure to respect private property. A lot of those folks are going out there seeing snow for the very first time. Some of those kiddos. Got to make sure you have the proper equipment, the snow pants, and the rain boots and everything. Otherwise, you're gonna be wet pretty quick.
Oh yes, exactly. I mean, sometimes it's fun when you're out there in the snow, and you kind of realize that you may not have brought all the gear that you needed. But when the snow is actively coming down, it's not quite as fun. But we know we're expecting for this upcoming weekend, Friday through about Monday, dry skies, and that means we could get some sunshine out there following a new round of snow for the area mountaintops. So Mount Laguna, even Julian, over the course of this past weekend, got some of that snow. Looks like this will be a slightly warmer storm for the mountaintops, so we're monitoring whether or not we're going to get snow, rain, or maybe a mixture of the two, a rain-snow mixture out there. Let's focus in on your coastline and your inland valleys where the rain is coming down as we speak. Temperatures are expected to peak in the upper 50s for this afternoon. Notice that hourly opportunity of rain in the forecast drops down to about 20% at 10 a.m. That means there could be some stretches in the day-to-day where the rain will let up a bit. We'll just see cloudy skies out there. The roads will remain very wet out there and saturated, and then we could see that rain kind of reconvene and reinvigorate itself. So it will be kind of pulse after pulse that we'll get throughout the day, and I want to show you how that looks on our future models. So here's what we expect for between now and 7:30. We'll fast forward from 7:30 all the way through about 10, 11 a.m. and you can see how these waves are mainly generated from the southwest corner of the screen moving up toward the northeast. That'll keep occurring throughout the day today. You get just some intermittent light showers for the most part. There's the chance that at times a little bit of yellow pops up here on the screen showing more moderate rainfall, and that will continue all the way throughout the day today and continue continue to taper off by Wednesday. Wind across the mountaintops and East County, pretty intense. So mountains and deserts are where we see the majority of that wind right now. Wind advisory just expired, could be reissued or extended, especially with the expectation of more widespread rain in the forecast and heavy rain at that for Thursday. Thursday is our day where we can get a whole additional inch of rain on the ground before we dry out for Friday all the way through the upcoming weekend. Let's take a look at traffic. It is a mess out there on the roads, mainly with stalled vehicles. I want to take you to 3 different stalled vehicles that we have from Del Mar all the way through downtown. So starting off with the top part of your screen there in Del Mar. Right-hand shoulder is blocked with a stalled vehicle on the 5 northbound. This is at the Via de la Valle exit. And then farther off to the center of the screen, down toward downtown area, looks like there is a stalled vehicle on the 15 where it meets the 8 freeway. Farther south of that, number 2 lane is blocked with a stalled vehicle on the 5 northbound. This is as you meet the 8 as well. So stalled vehicles on the roads blocking some of those lanes. You know what that means. It's still pretty dark out there. The roads are wet. Stalled vehicles on the road. Please take it a bit slower out there. Take some caution as you head up for the morning commute. You don't want to run into any difficulty out there. So we'll keep you up to date here and on CBS8.com throughout the next several hours. Back to you.